Hello students, welcome you back to the session. So today's topic we will cover the testing of object oriented system. So the last topic of this is regression testing of object oriented systems. So actually what happens, so whenever you perform the testing, so it is a complicated process, right? Whenever you deal with the object oriented system application, so it is a bit difficult because the frequent changes are again burdensome, right? So whenever you make any changes, you again have to go back and change in the test cases also, and again perform the regression or integration testing. So it becomes very essential for the testing of object oriented system. So it also have the importance of testing the having the regression test. So the heavy reliance of the object oriented system on reusable components, changes to any one of the component could have potentially unintended side effects on the clients that use the component, and hence you have to make a frequent integration and regression test or regression run whenever you are with the automation testing. So you need to perform the integration and regression test runs. And then it is also because of the changes which are resulting from the properties like your inheritance concept, because the code will be taken from the different class. So there are lot of changes gonna happen. So frequent regression test is necessary, and it is important to catch the defects as earlier as possible. So for this reason we must have to do the regression test of your object oriented system. So next slide we will see tools for testing of object oriented systems. So there are several tools that aimed in testing of object oriented systems. So let us see some of these tools like use cases, class diagram, sequence diagram, activity diagram, and also state charts. So I'll just briefly explain you all these. What is use case? So it is actually represents the various tasks that the user will perform when interacting with the system, and use case go in detail of the specific step that the user will go through in accomplishing each task, and also system response for each steps. And class diagram, so it represents the different entities and relationship that exist among the entities. So a class is a basic building of object oriented system. So a class diagram actually builds upon the classes of the system, and there are a number of parts in a class diagram. For example, boxes, rectangular box representing a class, and other element of the class are shown as the compartment within the rectangle. And association is represented for the relationship between two classes by a line. And generalization is represented as child classes that are derived from the parent class. And also a class diagram helps in testing by the identifying the elements of a class, and hence enables the identification of the boundary value analysis and also equivalence partitioning and such tests. And in association helps in identifying the test for referential integrity constraints across your classes. And the generalization helps in identifying the class hierarchies. And what is sequence diagram? So object oriented system works by communicating the messages across various objects. So a sequence diagram represents a sequence of messages which are passed among the objects to accomplish the given application scenario or the use case. So basically the object that represent in a task or use case are actually listed in horizontal, and the lifetime of the object is represented by the vertical from top to bottom, and a dashed line on the top represent the object construction or activation. The messages are represented by horizontal line between the two objects. And a sequence diagram also helps in testing by identifying the temporal end-to-end messages and tracing the intermediate points in an association with end-to-end transaction, and thereby enabling the easier narrowing down of the problems, and also by providing the several typical messages like calling sequences. So next we will see activity diagram. So activity diagram depicts the sequence of the activities that take place, and it is used for modeling a typical workflow in an application, and that brings out the elements of the interaction between the manual and automated processes. It is actually similar to your flowchart and has the parallels to the most of the elements of the conventional flowcharts. And the activity diagram helps in testing by giving the ability to derive various paths through the execution and ability to identify the possible messages between an activity and the object. And state diagram, so as we discussed in the black box testing, it is same as that. So with this we will finish the object oriented system testing. So next session we will start with the usability and accessibility testing. So go through the videos, go through all the sessions and try to understand, and if you don't have some clarity, then you can reach me out. Thank you, dear students.